Okay, in this next video, we're going to go over an overhang roof. So we're going to start by extending the tops of our roofs out a little bit away from it so that we get that overhang created. So I'm just going to add little lines that extend my roof out just a little bit. The other thing we have to add is another sheet of paper on our left side because now we have to figure out this angle of this roof. So I already ripped a sheet of paper and take a piece of tape. Tape it to the back. And then I have to determine this angle of this roof because this is a separate roof than this one, so it gets its own vanishing point up. So lining up with this angle of our gable, going directly above this vanishing point wherever it crosses. And it looks like it's right at the peak of my end of my paper. So that is the angle we would follow for our overhang. So I'm going to go ahead and follow that vanishing point, starting from the end of my overhang to that vanishing point up in the sky. I'm going to draw down, going below where my roof was. Then I also have to find out this corner of this roof. So I'm going to go from that corner and then drop it down a little bit because then there's going to be an overhang on that side as well. And then I can complete that gable. And then same thing for this end. So then all of this would get erased that's in the middle. Okay, then we do the same thing on this side. I already extended it out from the roof. I then do the same thing on the corners. I line up with the corner and I drop it down a little bit. Draw the line, do the same thing to the other side, but this time I'm going to connect to this corner of where my other overhang roof ended and draw that line across. And it is going to go over my window and my doors a little bit. Then I follow this angle up to this vanishing point of my roof. And finish it on the other side. In this instance, the chimney is cutting through my overhang, so I might extend my fireplace up a little bit. This is an error I made earlier. I did not do my overhang before I did my fireplace, so I'm just going to make it go higher than the roof. And then it's just going to interrupt my overhang slightly. Okay, so my roof ends where it meets my fireplace. I'm going to make it a slightly taller than my roof because it does come up above and I did not make it tall enough. And then the top goes to the other side. So then it breaks above the peak of our roof, and I'm going to erase that line. Okay, so then I erase all of this stuff that's in the middle. And I can continue this where these two roofs meet line. Actually, it's going to bring it over just slightly bit. Okay, the last step is we have to make our roof look three-dimensional, and by doing that we have to add a thickness. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a little tiny straight line in the middle of my peak of my roof, and I'm also going to draw a little straight line on both sides of my roof, going from the vanishing point up in the sky. Going to draw another line straight down. That way it looks like my roof has thickness. Okay, and I do that on the other side as well. So pretend that I can still see my peak, even though my fireplace is in the way. Going to the vanishing point in the sky to the right. And just starting to where I might see that thickness. Okay, so there's the underside of my roof on that side, and so forth. Now, if I want to add shingles to my roof, I can now do that because I've added all the details I need, and it's going to be a lot like the brick and the siding. So I'm still going to the vanishing points on the horizon line, and I can also mark along if I want them to be even rows. So if I want to, I can use my measurement on my ruler, do every ½ centimeter, or you can also guess. I like to use my ruler. And it's on the right side of the roof, so then I go to the right vanishing point. Okay, and then with shingles, they often have these little triangles in there. You can also add those in for detail. And then when it comes to shading, you can also just shade the entire roof. And shingles also have a rough texture, so doing stippling and dots would help with roof. Dots would also help with brick texture as well when it comes to adding value. If the sun is coming from above, then I would definitely add shadows that are darker underneath of my overhang, because that's where the sun does not shine as much, so it's therefore darker. That goes for anything that the roof is blocking, okay? And I will later show a time lapse of me shading a house.